Well, we are in the holiday spirit. Hey, Natalie, how you doing?
Good, good. It's December.
I know it is December, and guess what, man? I am pumped. We've had a great year. Looking back over the year, we've had an opportunity to do a lot of things this year, help a lot of people, change some lives. So we're excited. And everyone, I'm Jessie Bowen, one of the co-hosts of the Become an Author podcast, and with my sidekick and partner, Natalie McQueen. And
Yes.
so
Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming. We have lots of fun stuff to talk about today, don't we, Jessie?
we do. And, again, we talk about the projects that we're actually working on so that, we talk out loud so it makes sense to us as we share with everyone else.
This is our brainstorming time.
I know this is our brain. We hang out and brainstorm on our show, and this is great because everyone is getting it, firsthand. And we say, well, if we really plan for these shows, we're going to mess something up. Today we want to talk about magazines. We're launching a special promotion on being featured in a magazine. We have our martial arts magazine, which is the Martial Arts Extraordinaire magazine. Right. And we're opening that up this upcoming year to really turn it into a marketing and branding magazine that will help our clients and help martial artists, not just in the publishing business, but running their schools, because the more people that know about you, and if you're featured in a magazine, that becomes a credible source. And you can put your information in there, and then it's an excellent way for you to get it out in your community, especially in your local market, because there's so many different things you can do, with a magazine. And I know, Natalie, you are an expert in the bestseller marketing things that we do. And we know that marketing yourself, whether it's with your book or with a business, is a very key part of the success. And it's not just a one-off type of thing. So when you're marketing, you really need to work on creating your target. And I know that you work a lot with our launch words and things, because we have to target our audience. And right. If you have a magazine or featured in a magazine, that can be a great targeting tool.
Absolutely. I love being in other people's magazines, and people say, oh, if I'm, say, in the martial arts world, I should only be in a magazine for martial arts. Well, you should, but don't close your mindset. Think about all the people that are in health, wellness, all the other topics that there's magazines out there that you should be in those magazines, driving what you do, drive them back to martial arts. They probably have children that may want to start in class if you have a school. So I love to, be exposed to my target audience, and you can share what you're doing, how you're doing it, a special, but then reach out to other audiences and get in front of those. And the cool thing is, if it is in a genre that's different, you may just stand out and get a little more exposure.
You're exactly right. And what you can do, especially in the value of why should I be involved in a magazine? Now, there's the people that want to be famous in magazines. Famous doesn't pay.
Right.
And again, because you're famous, but you don't share it with someone. So we're really talking about helping you to be featured in a marketing magazine that creates revenue for you. So, there's the famous magazine, and that's just sort of like, for your own ego, and that's good. But a marketing magazine that looks at your target, if my target is children, then I can be featured in that magazine as an expert for children. But remember, it's featured locally for your magazine. Now, if I have a online course, we can now take that magazine and post it for online.
Right.
It can be a paper magazine or it can be a digital magazine. And this is what we offer our clients in that ability to be able to do. But you can now break it down much better and you can measure your results better than you can with a social media post. Now, I put a post online for social media, I put $100 or so in there and I get these likes. See, you still have to turn all the likes into dollars.
Right.
And with a magazine, it's different.
Absolutely. Being noticed is really important, but then investing in your entrepreneurship, your business, if you're selling books or whatever you're doing, making sure that you are knowing that marketing dollars spent well, and sometimes, those paid ads, it's like, do they work? Don't they? Like you said, I get a few likes, and can I convert those people? But when you're in a magazine and you're shown as the expert, you're being noticed, you're having people have all your information right there, and it's well spent marketing dollars, because that magazine uses their marketing dollars to drive out to make sure that their magazine is being seen. So use that exposure for your benefit.
And that's exactly right. So number one is magazines, we can target your audience, especially that local audience that's buying from you. For an example, you got a magazine, you're featured on the cover. This is one of our magazines here. You're featured on the cover. So what do you do with it? Well, you go out and you give it to people.
Right.
You put it into a doctor's office. Can you imagine, Natalie, you're there with your daughters and you're sitting there for 45 minutes and you see something that says martial arts. So you pick it up and it says, in there, well, you have the martial artist on the front cover. You open the magazine up and there's an article talking about why you should join their martial arts school, the benefit of it. There's an advertisement there about the martial arts school, and you're sitting there. You see, when you're doing social media ads, everybody's just going through.
Right.
It's very short term. But if I had this, let's say I had it in my your hair salon, that's another place where people pick up a magazine and they're looking at it.
Yeah.
Let's take an example in a restaurant. Any place where someone will sit is a great place to have a magazine with your information. Now, what if someone comes in, Natalie, and they now they're talking to me about enrolling in my martial arts program, or we have our magazine, take center stage, and you're talking to someone and they see that magazine just because they see it. Or if I'm doing an introductory close and one of my salespeople would say, and Grandmaster Bowen is actually featured in this magazine, The Martial Arts Extraordinaire, and he's talking about how martial arts can help your kids. We want to give you one as a part of your introductory program. They take me home.
Yep.
They're taking me home. They're going to look at that magazine. So again, that credibility of who I am as a teacher versus someone else, I can now display who I am in this magazine, and more people can reach out and touch it. So I can give it to companies. I can, into your dental office, any place that you can give these magazines to. And plus, if you want to sell them online, we can set it up so you can sell the magazine online. So that number one thing you want to really focus on is who's my market? How do I want to be able to target them?
Right. And the other thing is, so you kind of brought up being featured with your own article. Many people will say, I run a studio, I'm not a writer. Well, guess what? That we have amazing editors and editorial enhancers and ghostwriters for our books, but you can do the same for a magazine. So again, invest in being seen and shown as the expert. Write your own article and throw an ad in another section of the magazine and look at your being seen once or twice, and inexpensive way to just drop magazines along where you go, your doctor's office, dentist's office, bus stop, wherever you're going, just, leave one there and see if a business card can be tucked in. That's a really good way, so they kind of see who left it. So there's many marketing little extras that you can take advantage of somebody else's marketing and publishing.
Well, exactly right. Through our marketing plan, for martial artists, if someone has a martial arts school, then by being in our martial arts program, we provide that support that we want to bring you in a minimum of $10,000 of revenue. If your school meets a certain standard, into your martial arts program. Now, it's hard for you to get a social media ad to do that.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
It's very hard. But with the magazine, we can actually target the market. During a survey, I used to do surveys in my martial arts school. I grab a clipboard and I go out and I start talking to people. Hi, have you ever heard of Karate International before? Do you have anyone in your family that's involved in the martial arts? Thank you for your time. I'd like to give you a free magazine. This is our teacher focus here on the front cover. Great article on the inside. My business card is attached. So if you know someone would like to study the martial arts, please refer them to us. But remember, you can keep this magazine and learn more about the martial arts. I mean, that's what you do. Yeah. That's what you do. And your kids, go ahead.
Oh, people will throw out a business card, but they won't throw out a beautiful magazine or book with your business card.
Well, you're exactly right. And that's what we really want is the longevity. I feel like I have to post 3 to 4 times a day on social media just to keep, up with the messaging that I'm trying to do. But if I have a magazine, I can put that messaging out and you can have it right. You can have it right there. Kids come into your martial arts school and I'm using martial arts today because of, some of the things that we're trying to do. But if you are in any profession, a magazine is a great way to do that. And with Natalie and I, we can help you create and design your magazine. Well, I don't know how. Don't worry about that. Set the goal that you want to have a successful magazine, and we will show you how to brand yourself with your magazine. So if you're in the business community and you want to launch a magazine, we'll show you how to create value and turn that into revenue with your magazine. But being featured in a magazine it opens up so many doors.
It really does.
Yeah, it really does. I was featured on the cover of a magazine about 2 or 3 years ago that was talking about personal branding. And I've had so many calls asking me about how do I work on building my brand. And it's opened the door for speaking opportunity, and all because I keep posting that picture with me on the cover talking about personal branding. In fact, I just got offered a television show on Roku, but they consider me an expert because they see my stuff all the time, and,
nice.
And pretty much people say that it looks that it's good.
Yeah.
But Natalie, what about the confidence? When someone is reading something, now we know there's a lot of disinformation out on social media, and that's the big words now. But when people are reading something and it's in print, they have a lot more confidence and they trust that source because in print, it is in print. And when you're talking about your business and you're talking about yourself, then that person has a lot of credibility. And plus you have a great photograph there of yourself or your facility. People are looking forward to coming and to meet you. So that magazine creates the confidence, and it also helps to uplift, the expectation.
Absolutely. I have a funny story. That's why I just had a flashback. This was when I was just getting started, and I got invited to be on the cover of a magazine with 8 other women. And so I dressed up. I got this little business suit and I looked all professional and everything. And we had to go to the studio that was across town. And so you get there and you try to get your hair and everything done. The other ladies, look beautiful. And then I look and one of the ladies who was well endowed, let's say, was not covering herself. And I was just like, she's seriously not going to wear that, is she? So I think a few other ladies were thinking the same as me. They seat us, and of course, she's right up front, almost front and center. And we take all the pictures and everything, and they come out with this magazine. But I was so embarrassed because of that lady and how she was dressed that I never wanted to give the magazine out. But that was my one and only time. So a few of us went to the lady that organized it, and we said, it's too bad, because we would push this out because it was a beautiful magazine, but the front cover image was just not appropriate for us in business. So do you know what they did? And again, this is quite a ways back. They put a top on her, a new top, and republished the magazine, and then we got it. So I have one of the copies of the pre and then the post that I actually shared out with people. That's why I was laughing. I was like, the cover matters.
The cover matters. And the thing that we have mastered over the past year is what we call cover swap. So, just like with this magazine that we have here,
we're not talking about swapping clothes.
No. We're going to swap. We're going to take the whole cover. So what we do is actually we remove the photograph and we replace your photograph here, Natalie, because This is really about you and how to stand out. And of course, with Elite, we would say something to that person, or we would put her in the back row or sit in the back, because number one,
throw her a sweater.
Because just like with this magazine here, we've got a group of ladies here, but everybody can identify these people because they're in the famous group of people, but they all look, professional. They all look nice. They look like they're martial artists. So again, your image. And so when you're in a magazine, you want to make sure your image is good. Whether you're on the front cover or you're just featured on the inside cover, or the inside of the magazine with just an article. So you have a cover feature, and then you have an inside article feature. Now, I write for 3 magazines each month. So, it's getting out there, but the magazine really helps me in, again, creating my credibility, not so much on a local level, but it helps me to be able to create my brand and who I am on an international level, because the magazine is a world magazine. All 3 of them are award-winning, distributed all over the world type of magazine. So I get a lot of my business and a lot of publicity just from being featured as a writer in the magazine.
Yeah, I love that. Having that opportunity to be swapped out on the cover and not have to find all the articles and the people for the inside is a quick and easy way. Again, use your marketing dollars wisely. Use somebody else's system that they already have in place and allow it to benefit your business.
Right, exactly right. And when we say swap out, say for an example, we have 10 people that would like to be featured on the cover. It's okay, because we're branding individual books for your community. So this is not our national magazine, but this is our personal branding magazine. So this is a place we really want to focus on in 2024 is to help our clients, our authors, and the other people that we coach to be able to build a personal brand that impacts you, and then learn how to be able to utilize that brand to open up other doors. And
Right.
if someone is out there saying, well, I have no idea what you're talking about, don't worry about it. Do you want to make money? Do you want to increase your revenue? That's pretty simple. So we have systems here that can help you to increase your revenue. We work personally with you to build that brand, create a marketing tool. And this goes right back into your books, because maybe you're not sure you want to be a full-fledged author. So you get a taste by being featured in a magazine, and your picture's in there, and you find out, how does that make me feel? What was the response? Or if you're on the cover of the magazine, then your next step definitely is to get with us so we can now publish a book, and we'll help you create your topic to write on, the information that needs to be in the book. And we can pretty much guarantee that when you launch, that your book will be in the top 100, if not the international bestseller.
Right. So, and here's another thought. Don't think this as a one and done. Think about a series. Like if you have, I'll just use legacy because I know it. If I have a legacy business and I'm driving to different legacy products or different things that I want people to think about, then you could have 5 or 6 articles where the investment to be in that book 5 or 6 times in a row, that really drives credibility to your business. And they're like, oh, I can't wait till the next month. And at the end of your article, you could even give a little teaser about what the next month's article will be. And if you talk to the person that is doing the magazine, like Jessie, I bet you could get a little bit of a cut in price if you said, can I be in here for the next 6 months? Or go big and say, next year, I want to be in your magazine every month. And what does that look like? And then look at the expense of being in the magazine. Maybe if you are not well versed in writing, make sure that you have someone that will help you. Again, reach out to us. We have teams that can help you make your articles flow one into the other and really make you and your business look like a rock star, as well as make sure that you have some marketing dollars to buy a bunch of those magazines and just start handing them out. I guarantee that you will see a difference in your business. And I bet you if you track those marketing dollars, there's very few other ways that you can really get that impact and get to be known as that expert in your field.
So everyone, what our program is about today is for you to think about the power of being featured in a magazine. And if you're a martial artist, then our Martial Arts Extraordinaire magazine can be custom designed to you and your market, your community, whether you feel that your marketplace, it would be kids, if it's the adult marketplace you're trying to get to, or if it's a self-defense program you're trying to get to, or fitness, kickboxing, or anything you want to do. By being featured in our magazine will accelerate. And I know we spend a lot of money on social media, but remember, that's great if, I've got friends all over the world. I got a message I couldn't have anymore. I got 5,000 friends on my social media, but it's the people locally for my business that come in to be a part of my business. And again, the magazine, you say, well, I don't own a martial arts school or I don't own a business, but would you like to build yourself in your community? And when you build yourself in your community, You never know who you're going to meet. Oh, you're the karate guy. I saw your picture on the magazine. Or, oh yeah, you're the business guy. You own such and such business. I saw your picture in the magazine. So remember, that's what you want to do. One of the most effective tools that you can have is to be featured in a magazine. And the magazine, again, I do social media marketing. We have to get it out there, especially when we want to reach people that's not in our community. But if I'm trying to reach people here in my city, then I need to be doing marketing that's pertaining to my city. How do I get people in? How do I build my referral programs? But that magazine, you can have a magazine signing and have your parents, your kids to invite someone in, and they join your school, they get a signed copy of the magazine. Think about it. If you had, if you're charging at least $100 a month for martial arts or dance, it doesn't matter, whatever it is. Then if one person joins, that's actually $1,200. And what if you had 10 people join one day? So now that's $12,000. So we've got a system that we can help you to be able to monetize yourself and really launch your brand in your community. And again, the next step is to publish that book. Any final thoughts on that, Natalie?
Yeah, I had a visual as you were talking about that. If you want social media, most of the magazines give you links, so you can definitely share it that way. But what about when you're out in the community, meeting people, sharing that magazine? Why not take a snapshot of that person holding your magazine? And you can say, I just met, Jane at the grocery store, and we're super excited to be connected, So you can really take your magazine and what you're doing in the community and bring it back to social media. And that's just one more way of free marketing.
We did the Elite Martial Artists in America book back here the first part of the year. That book broke the internet. We made #1 bestseller, and we had something like 73 credits.
I think it was 74, but yeah, it was a lot.
and we turned that book and we personalized a compilation book with about 20 different authors in there. So we turned it and personalized to each person. And one of the people that we did his personal cover, he went out and he did book signings, he gave it to people, he went to the city council, gave it to people. And guess what? About 2 weeks ago, he received a grant from the school system. He has these for $25,000.
No way.
He has a program for kids in the school that they actually go to his classes. But with his book and the advertisement and the promotion, giving out these books, they came as a picture of him on the internet holding this check for $25,000 they gave him because it gave him credibility.
And he invested in himself, in marketing himself. That's the key. Yeah. I love that. That's great.
Well, we have stories over and over of people, because they've been published and they've done a good marketing, that people recognize who they are and they get involved. My wife, she has a television program, a ministry program that comes on twice a week. And now it's been going for about a year. Now she goes into the store and people are walking up to her. Aren't you the minister on television?
Oh,
that's starting to scare me a little bit here. but it's really
everyone's trying to be good around her, right?
Exactly. Everybody has the hush words, But that's just another example of how being able to build your brand. So if you are interested in having a magazine for your organization, having a personal magazine for your business, your own magazine. I'm not talking about our magazine, but maybe you want to add our technology, our marketing strategies into your own magazine. then
Right.
hey, that's what we do. We can show you how to be able to do that. So we're not just locked into martial arts or any business that you want to be. We have the Take Center Stage magazine, which is for authors, and then we have the Martial Arts Extraordinaire magazine. So if you want a business magazine, we can help you do that. We can get your magazine to do the same thing. We can get your book to do, and that become an Amazon hot new release. So that means you're in the top of the field, and your magazine will stay there, and people continue to buy this magazine because the shelf life of a magazine is very long. I mean, even if you have a magazine you were on a magazine 6 months ago, then you still can use that magazine.
Right.
We try not to date stuff so it becomes continually usable for that person. So everyone, is scrolling across your screen, www.elitepublications.org. And you can always shoot me a text at 919-618-8075. And don't forget Gifts of Legacy. Hey, Natalie, before we jump off, tell me a little bit about what's going on with you. And I know you've got a couple of projects.
Yeah, I'm super excited. It's finally coming, hopefully to the end of this week. But the My Talking Journal, that's a journal that you can actually hold in your hands, and you actually hear live videos from people inspiring and saying inspirational words of whatever the journal topic is. Our first journal topic is going to be gratitude, because, who doesn't have gratitude, or who shouldn't be looking for gratitude in their life? And so we really are looking for 100 people. It does not matter if you don't have your own business, have your own business and want to get some recognition, or just have a story about gratitude and how you use it in your life. It's a 3-minute video, so it's short and sweet, and we will get it out to, published in this beautiful book. And zero writing, people. Just a nice message, and we do all the recording for you. So super simple, and we are very excited about this. So reach out to me, Natalie, at giftsoflegacy@gmail.com.
And everyone, you can click the link. We're opening up our website page where you can learn more about how to become featured in our Martial Arts Extraordinaire magazine, how you can be featured on the cover, how you can be featured as a writer in the magazine. Again, this is not the famous magazine. The famous magazine, I'm famous and now this is the reason you put me in a magazine. No, this is the marketing magazine. We put you in this magazine because you want to become famous and bring people in on that monetary side. So this is some examples of the magazines that you see up on the screen. And, we got two magazines, Natalie, and you see the one over there with the ladies, but you see the young man next to it. That's actually the same magazine.
Yeah.
What we've done is rebrand the cover to someone. And over here, everybody's hero, Bill Superfoot Wallace, is on the cover of this particular magazine. And then we have a young lady that's out of St. Thomas. She's featured on the other magazine. It's the identical magazine, but they have an article in the magazine, and they have advertisement in the magazine. Right. And so both of these magazines were very successful for these martial artists. And this is the reason why our focus this year is how do we get students into the martial arts school? Right. How do we get that martial artist to be recognized in their community as a leader? So these are some of the things that we're working on. So remember, we are looking for martial artists for the Martial Arts Extraordinaire magazine to be featured in our magazine, and also to have your own personal cover. So remember, reach out to us. And as I always say, Natalie, everyone has a story. You just have to get it out.
Absolutely.
Everyone,
And I have been featured in your magazine a couple
yes,
times.
you have. You have.
And I'll tell you what, guys, don't, if you're not in the martial arts world and you're listening to this, still call us, because you will get in front of all those people that need other services and want to know what you're doing to make the world a better place.
Everyone, be blessed.